I am the Nicole Johnson, founder of the Wealthy Women Lifestyle, where I teach women to define and achieve their goal of financial freedom so they can live life on their terms. Talking about money can be the hardest subject for women. I make it comfortable for them to be able to reveal their truth, reveal their faults, and then execute so that they can get into their activation of their new income streams and actually seeing their financial future clearly. Being a divorced single mom, working for the state, where my salary was considered below the poverty line, I decided to become a homeowner. I went to seminars, I went to workshops, and they always told me what to do. They never told me how to do it. Sat with a mortgage lender who looked at my 30-plus page credit report. He told me I'd never be a homeowner. That was the spring of 2008. My children were the reason that I wanted to buy a home. But the fact that he told me no made me dig even deeper so that I could. I had to make some changes. I had to look at my budget. I had to look at my finances and my spending and my money mindset in managing my money. On 9/9 of 2009, I became a first-time homeowner. For me, that was the thing. It's never what you're called. It's always about what you'll answer to. Understanding that my credit report, the pages, they didn't define me. And what that made me realize is that I just had to work a little harder. There wasn't anybody to support me, so I had to dig deep for myself. And the first thing I learned is to focus on my why. Why did I want to become a homeowner? Wasn't just about proving that mortgage lender wrong, even though that was part of it. But I wanted more for myself and for my children. So every time I thought I was going to stop, things became a little challenging. I looked at them and was reminded they were my why. See, when your why is so strong and personal to you, nothing and no one will get in the way of you accomplishing the goal. And sometimes that no one is you. Let me say this. Sometimes we have to understand that we are the problem. Once you can accept that, your magic moment comes in realizing that you are also the solution. If I could go back and talk to my 21-year-old self, there are 3 things that I would explain to her. 1, make sure you understand what the meaning of money is. Like, it's not just to come in and go out, pay bills. No, that is not it. Money is a tool, and I would explain that to her and make sure she understands it. 2, I would also tell her, leave that money in that account and let it grow. Let it grow. Sometimes when you start saving, you don't always understand what you're saving for, but an emergency fund, it's never too early to build one, and let that money in that account just grow. I think the 3rd thing I would tell her, put those 2 things together and then move. Execute. You're going to make mistakes, and that's okay. You learn the lesson, repeat 1, 2, and 3. You do them a little differently because you've now learned the lesson. Execution. Success moves at the speed of execution. Without execution, everything that you do is just wasting time. And since time is your most valuable commodity, you don't have time to waste. One of the biggest problems that I see that women especially are having in this world is a lack of understanding that they have a money mindset. Their money mindset is about how they manage their money, understanding what money can do for them, and understanding that money management and systems will make them successful so that they can begin to build that wealth. But until you change your money mindset and your relationship with your money, wealth will not come. Let me give you an example. I had a mother and daughter client come to me. They needed assistance because what was happening is the mother was teaching the daughter bad money habits without actually talking to her. It was just watching what the mom did. So if there were bad days at work, hard days at work, I'm going shopping. And who is she taking with her? Her daughter. And then what happened is the daughter had a baby. And now we have 3 generations of women teaching bad habits from one to the next. We talked, we got systems in place, but one day life happened and mom and daughter, dragging the granddaughter along to the mall, went shopping. On the way home, the daughter called and said, we need an intervention. That call for help was a change in mindset for the daughter. So they tell me what they did. They both had a bad day. They spent $600 in the mall, and baby girl is watching. But daughters finally says, I'm taking my things back, and I'm talking to my daughter about why this was not a good decision. Mom says, I'm not taking mine back, Nicole, and I don't care what you say. I said, okay, well, I'm not here to tell you what to do, but let me ask you a question. That money that you spent, what are you going to do to replace it? Because I know it came from the bill account. That was her eye-opening moment. She said, come on, we all going back to the mall. So understanding your relationship with money and how you handle things and how you respond to things is extremely important. I have another client. She came to me, her father passed away and left her the family home. Unfortunately, that home had a lot of debt attached to it. She couldn't maintain it without filing bankruptcy. Okay, she filed bankruptcy, Chapter 13, and they gave her a 5-year debt payment plan. She called me up. She said, how do I get out of this? I don't want to spend the next 5 years trying to pay off this debt. So at that point, again, I asked for help. This is what changed her situation. We implemented work from home strategies, different mindset, different money management, and in 15 months, she paid off $75,000 worth of debt. She now lives debt free. She now has purchased her own business and is flourishing in that business. And understanding how money moves before she spends it has helped her shift her life around, and she's now creating legacy. Mother, daughter, and granddaughter, now a matriarch, passing things on to her children and grandchildren. When money management becomes a better lifestyle for you, for all of us, not only do we create wealth for ourselves, we create a legacy for the generations to come. What is the reason that people hire me to help them with their money management? Mainly because they need someone that they can trust. Talking about money and money issues is a problem because one, women are wearing so many hats, and the last thing they want is someone that's uh, leaking their business across the internet. Okay, but they also want someone that will create a safe space and a no judgment zone. Listen, my clients have bankruptcies, they're 6-figure earners, they have no idea where their paycheck went on payday. And that for them is embarrassing. It's a lot of shame and guilt built into that. So being able to talk about where they have messed up in their finances, they've got to have somebody that they can trust. Now, I tell them all the time, I'll tell all their business. I keep their identity a secret because telling our story is what will be the help for someone else. Their identity doesn't matter. It's the relatability that they have in connecting with other women inside of the safe community that I've created. One of my clients, she came along and she said, I have an issue with, I like to buy. I like to buy. I like to buy. She was borderline hoarders, okay? She was one step from being on the show. And when I sat down with her to start the process of examining, which is one of my steps, my tools that I use with them, to examine where those habits came from, she just kept saying, everything was good in my childhood. See, what I do is therapeutic, but I'm not the therapist. So we do go back into the childhood to see where the habit started. But there was a block of her life that she literally had blocked out. She started talking about her parents did this, they were great and wonderful. When I brought her into middle school and high school, she had to actually think what happened to her. It was her parents' divorce. Father went on and moved on with someone else and started living a good life. However, her mom had to work 3 jobs to keep the roof over their head. Really painful, really devastating part of her life, and she completely blocked it out. But now, once she's opening that wound and she's looking at it, we didn't know where our next meal might be coming from. It was opening that door that helped her understand why she was hoarding so much. See, the things that she was hoarding wasn't the issue, it was the reason. And once you understand why you're doing something, then you can begin to change. But it was getting to the point that she could trust me enough to share those painful details, and then we moved into the solution. That's why people hire me. They want to first find someone that they can trust, and then find someone that will help put in place systems that will help them move forward from the place that they are so that they can see their dreams come true. What have I enjoyed about the making of the Entrepreneur Series? Listen, there's so many things. Shay Brown and his team are absolutely amazing. They make this very comfortable, a lot of fun. The pictures have been amazing, and I haven't even seen all of them. But really talking through your experience or my experience as an entrepreneur is helping me refine what it is I want to bring to my client. And I couldn't have done that without Shay Brown and his team.